everyone, this is the part 3 of structural organization in animals. In the past videos we have discussed about the epithelial tissue and also connective tissue. Now we will be seeing about the detailed information of specialized connective tissues. Okay, to start with cartilage. This cartilage is solid, pliable, and they also resist compression. Pliable means they are flexible and they will be resisting the compression. Okay, and this cartilage will have specialized cells called chondrocytes and which are present in the matrix. These cartilages are found at tip of nose, outer ear joints. Okay, as you all, if you touch your nose or this outer ear joints, you can see that bones which are very small. That's why people used to say, no, the tip of nose is very sensitive, we should not like get injured over there, something might happen, because the cartilage of that much strong, it will be broken immediately. So these are the example for cartilage. To talk about the bones are hard and non-pliable, means they are not flexible. Okay, and they are rich in calcium and also collagen fibers. Okay, which that's why people are suggesting us to drink milk. Okay, because that is also rich in calcium, which will be helping in the growth of bones. Okay, and they act as a structural framework to the body. The bones act as a structural framework to the whole body. Think of us without the bones, how the human will look like. So they act as a structural framework to the body, and they have called osteocytes. Generally cytes means cells. Okay, so here the bones are made up of osteocytes which are present inside something called as lacunae. Okay, and in some of the bone marrow there will be a generation of red blood cells. Now to talk about blood is the only fluid connective tissue. Okay, blood is the only fluid connective tissue which contains the plasma, RBC, platelets, and they will be helpful in the circulating the fluid. All these are like very common, you might have heard it many times. So these are all about the specialized connective tissue. Now we will talk about the third type, which is the muscle tissue. Okay, the muscle tissue are made up of long cylindrical fibers, okay, which are arranged in parallel arrays, which are further made up of the fine fibrils called as myofibrils. Okay, that means these fine fibrils are together, which are called as myo means muscles. Okay, these myofibrils which are in numerous number will be forming as a long cylindrical fibers. All these long cylindrical fibers which will be arranged in the parallel array forms a muscle tissue. Okay, so the general characteristic of muscle tissue will be they contract and relax, adjust and maintain the position, active role in movement. So in the locomotion movement we talk further about the muscle tissue, how they are working. So the main part of the muscle tissue is the active role in the movement. Okay, now the muscle tissue is further divided into three types, which is skeletal, smooth and cardiac. To talk about the skeletal muscle, okay, as the word indicates, these are attached to the skeletal bones. Sometimes they may be striated. That is, some stripes will be there. If you see the photo of skeletal muscle, you can see the striations, and they are arranged in parallel. In case of biceps, okay, biceps is an example of skeletal muscles, and you can see this feature over there, and they are voluntary. Okay, by thinking, if you want to move our hand, I can do, because just by thinking I want to move my hand, I am doing it now. So that is called as voluntary, and they are covered by the tough connective tissue. Okay, this is about the skeletal muscle. This is voluntary and striated. These are two important points. And coming to the smooth muscle, they are fusiform. Their structure is called as fusiform, and they have tapering ends, as like in fiber. If you take the xylem one, we talked about the structure, now how it will be with this tapering ends. So the same, the smooth muscles will be, and there are no striations. Okay, they are smooth, so no striation, and they are holded by the cell junction. Cell junction will be holding the muscles together, and they are involuntary. Okay, it is not like skeletal muscle, it is involuntary, and they are found in the blood vessels, stomach, and also in the intestine. Okay, these are the both smooth muscle. To talk about the cardiac muscle, you all very well know the cardiac muscles are found only in the heart. Okay, these cell junctions will be fusing the plasma membranes of all the cells, that is muscles, and then make them sticky together. And something called as communication junction, this is really important, which is also known as intercalated disc. These are helping in the contraction of the cardiac muscle. You all know that hot contracts, okay, contracts and relax, these are because of the intercalated disc which will be sending the signal to all the neighboring cells. So all the cells will be contracting together. So this is about the cardiac cell. Now we have completed the muscle tissue also. So to talk about the last one, which is the neural tissue. So the neural tissue is a control over response to the changing condition. Okay, as you all know how we do the responses and all, this is all are like controlled by the neural tissues. Okay, the neurons is the unit of neural system. The neurons are the basic unit of neural system, and they are existable cell, which means they can be stimulated and produce response, right? The neuron cell can be stimulated and also they produce response, that is means by existable cells. And to talk about the neuroglial cells, these are the one which protect and support the neurons. We have something called as neuron and also called as neuroglial cells which protect and support the neuron. And the main point is they are around 50% of the volume of the neural tissue. If we take that, the neuroglia will be present more than the 50% of the volume. Okay, so how the response is generally stimulated? The neuron will get stimulation, then it will be passed to the plasma membrane of that neuron, and it will be followed to the neuron's ending. As you know, we have axon and dendrils in the neuron structure. Okay, it will reach to the neuron ending, which will be again pass the stimulation to the adjacent neuron. This is how all the response will be stimulated. And to conclude, okay, the important point is not all the neurons, the stimulation which are triggered by one will be passed to another. Okay, it may be inhibited also, which means the stimulation which we are reaching at the neuron ending might not be reaching other neuron also. That is also another case. So with this we are completed about the types of tissue. Only case studies such as cockroaches left. Apart from all the general details of the structural organization of animals are done. Thank you.